All right. Hey guys, welcome back to the Underground. This is Interactive Chat Volume 44, our weekly solo man podcast where we sit back, relax, and chat everything PSVR2 from news, reviews, discussions, announcements, everything, man. First of all, happy spooky season. Woo! This is my favorite time of year. Halloween is, of course, my favorite holiday. I don't know why, but I just enjoy it. Maybe it's because I grew up loving horror movies and whatnot. Guys, we have a lot to go out over today, including going to be reviewing the brand new released just in time for spooky season Propagation Paradise Hotel. And I think you're going to want to hear about this one because I was not expecting this. We've also got a little bit of news going on and a huge PSN sale where we're going to go through each and every game on sale right now and give it the thumbs up and the thumbs down, whether or not I recommend it. Maybe we'll help some people that aren't into horror games, find something else, because there certainly is some good stuff on there. Might be the best PSN sale yet. We will find out more at 11:30. Guys, what is up, man? This is, of course, Interactive Chat, where I like to interact with you and say, what's up, Silver Nexus, my dude? Blue Drew, the Underground Game Cat Meows. Snacks, please, ahoy to you. David German Hines, yo. Dead Ringer, the Game Cat. Salvador, Haseeb Mirza. Yeah. Haseeb Mirza says, what's up, dude? I hugged a zombie. It didn't go well. I lied to you. I'm sorry. They're pretty good huggers. Herb 247, Chrome Colossus, Mountain Man, Gaming, Asian Panda, Mark Smith 12. Good to see all of you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this illustrious podcast. It is good to see all of you, man. Like I said, there's a lot going on here. Woo! October, man. We are in the dead center, the heart of October. And I love, like I said, love this time of year. It's my favorite time of year. I love to get in the mood, watch horror movies. I've been watching a couple different things like, let's see. I saw Barbarian most recently. It was pretty good. I think it was nice. It was really well filmed. I loved this movie called Talk to Me, which was fairly new as well. Highly recommend that one. I think I'm going to kick it back with a goodie, a classic, and maybe watch Alien next. But anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. Even though I love that stuff, I also do love horror games. And this being spooky season, man, let's go ahead and kick things off with a review just in time for the Halloween season, and that is for Angry Birds VR. Psych. No, I'm not going to talk a whole lot about this. But Angry Birds VR just released, and I got to check this out a little bit. And yeah, I've never played an Angry Bird game really other than the VR version. This was, of course, released on PSVR1 and is now remastered. And just wanted to tell you what I thought about it real quick. So this is, of course, the classic kind of puzzle kind of gameplay, tower defense kind of gameplay where you have to take out all the little things. You've got the little Angry Bird characters to choose from, and you shoot them off a slingshot and try to bring down the towers, try to crush all of your enemies. Yeah, man, in regards to the PSVR2 version, it's not like a huge upgrade visually. It's, you know, it looks a little bit better, but it looks about the same. The biggest advantage with the new version of this, the remaster, is actually the tracking. The tracking is much better on PSVR2 than it was for PSVR1, as most of you know. And it just works a lot better with this. And I will say, man, look, this game ain't my thing. I really don't care about it, to be honest with you. But for review, for science, I try and play everything or as much as possible, especially if deserving. And I do think this game was deserving of spending a little time with, and it's a solid, okay title. I think really the problem here is that it's kind of more like something you'd want to give to your kids to play VR with, which is fine, but as a grown man, I'm not super into the Angry Birds stuff. But I do think this game would be great for your kids. It's $20, $19.99, and it's a decent game. I think obviously I'd rather, unless you're getting it for your kids, like I'd recommend it on deep sale. It does have some Halloween content with it. You have to unlock it by playing like the Paradise Island stuff first, and then you get to it. I never got super far into it, but again, you know, I recommend this game. I think it's a good kids game, which is fine. I'm okay with letting kids play VR with proper supervision. Make sure they don't hurt themselves or whatever. I'm totally fine with kids playing VR, and I think this is a good one for kids to have something to play. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about this. It's okay. 7 out of 10. Not for me though. Not for me one bit. Although it's not bad. It's a well-designed game, and it's good stuff, I guess, for whoever's interested, which is nobody. All right, guys. So before we get into the real review, I was of course just trolling you a little bit. Before we get into the real review, there is something that just popped up and was brought to my attention just moments ago. So I went ahead and threw it on the list, and that is the sci-fi adventure Hubris now officially has a trial, a free trial that is live in the US as of right now. I don't know if it's live in other regions just yet, but it is live in the US. This is actually one of the games that's on sale, so I will share my thoughts on what I think at that time. But pretty cool, man. More demos. We really, you know, with VR, it is really hard to understand games from a trailer or from something like that, because you just don't get the depth perception, all the bells and whistles. You don't see what it actually looks like or feels like to play. It has a hard time conveying that through trailers. So if you're interested, I would say, you know, maybe check it out, but I'll tell you my full thoughts on it later when we get to the sales section of the video, which we'll do after we review Propagation. Looper the Underground Game Cat says, so when I was a kid, did I like stuff like that? Hell no. Like Angry Birds? No. I mean, first of all, Angry Birds, stuff like Angry Birds, I don't think really existed. When when I was a kid. No, I was into Mega Man, and I was into horror movies and stuff I wasn't supposed to be watching. My mom let me watch scary movies, luckily. So no, I was into much more mature stuff as a kid, actually. I don't think I really had too many like kiddie stuff to play with. But yeah, long story for another time. Let's see here. Nihilist Ryan says, ever see the Alfred Hitchcock adaptation of Angry Birds? No, I didn't. Oh, wait, yes, I have. Duh, I'm slow, man. I'm sorry. Birds, yes, I did. What a great movie. What a classic. Just people running around getting pecked at, and like they see like a bird in the sky and they like drive off a cliff. That's an appropriate reaction if you see a bird coming at you, right? Dude, I'd be eating good, man. I'll tell you what, if that happened in real life, I'd open a fried chicken stand and be selling fried chicken on the road and just catching everything coming after me. I could take some birds. Let's just say I feel pretty good. You know, I'm a pretty chill, passive person, but some birds coming at me, they're going down. Oh man. What is up, Robert the Game Cat? Atom says, Freddy Krueger gave me nightmares as a kid. Oh, by the way, tomorrow, it's not Freddy Krueger, but tomorrow is Friday the 13th, baby, which is surprisingly always a usually really good day for me, I usually have really good luck on Friday the 13th. But I think tomorrow night, definitely. I think I mentioned this on Gamescast, but definitely going to be throwing on some Friday the 13th movies. Chapter 4, the final chapter, and I think Jason Takes Manhattan, which I haven't seen before actually. Let's see here. Alguno says, "Hey guys, has the demo of Ghost Signal gotten the fix yet?" I don't actually know, but Ghost Signal is good, man. I streamed this. So last week, I did a stream instead of the usual interactive chat. I don't know why. I was just feeling like playing some games and getting caught up with everything. Really fun stream, and yeah, Ghost Signal was definitely a highlight of that. A great game. Great game indeed. I'm with Ghost Signal, I'm at like the 8 out of 10 territory. I'm not the biggest like roguelike fan, but it is fun. And if you like roguelites, it's an absolute must have. But yeah, I thought it was okay. Like I enjoyed it. I'm somewhere like out of the 8 out of 10 range. I think it's easily Fast Travel's best game yet. Maybe besides Apex Construct. But it's just nice to see them after years of being like, come on guys, like put it all together, and they finally did. So that was really nice, man. Yeah, man. So before we get into the review, let's see here. Waleed is a game cat now, formerly Tiger something. I don't know. It doesn't show your whole name for some reason. Thank you, Waleed. With the $2 tip, thank you, man. It says, AJ, list 5 moves for VR2 to dominate by 2024 fall. 5 moves for PSVR2 to dominate. Well, advertising is 1. Advertising well, that's 2. Let's see. Another big AAA announcement, maybe an open world game, or no, here, Cyberpunk 2077 VR mode, baby. There you go. That's 3. 4 would be the movie theater app. Now that's the interesting thing. I'm actually kind of glad you mentioned this. They've announced. I don't remember the whole thing, what it was called. But Sony have actually announced. I can pull it up here and try to remember what it's called. Sony announced actually an official movie app that they have. They finally brought it back. We were so mad when they took away the movie app from PlayStation VR. I'm sorry, from just PS5 in general. And let's see here. What is it called now? Bear with me 1 second. Here we go. Sony Pictures Core, formerly Bravia Core, coming to PS5 and PS4. They're now giving a new service or whatever. I hope to God this is the beginning of them restoring the movie things. I've always talked about Sony is just burning money, just letting money burn away by not having some kind of like movies and stuff. I know this wasn't really used a ton in the past, but I think they've never maybe really had the best timing with it. You know, they got rid of it, I think, like during COVID, which is like the best time to have like launched this. I mean, they just, some things, this is, you know, not to beat a dead horse, but I'm happy about the changes coming because I feel like their timing, they're just so slow and so late to get everything going. And I know there's a lot of moving pieces here that have to fall into place, but how cool would it be, guys, if in the near future or in the future after this app releases, they've said that, you know, it's launching with like over 2,000 movies, something like that, around that range. But how cool would it be to be able to watch in a virtual movie theater with each and every one of you and all of us together to go into a movie and have some fun? I'd pay good money for that, man. I would rent a movie and watch it with y'all in a virtual movie theater. This is something, you know, this isn't something that is like unheard of. This exists on other VR platforms and stuff. So it's definitely doable. I know Sony is like kind of weird about their like licensing and stuff. They sometimes run into issues with that, but this would be the time to bring that back with this app and deploy some kind of VR feature like that, because at the end of the day, yes, we only play PSVR2. We play PSVR2 mostly for games, but there's other features that can be taken advantage of and can be profitable, making that money I'm talking about. And everybody wins, right? Everybody wins in this situation. We're happy. Sony gets money. Why wouldn't you be doing this like yesterday? If it were up to me, this would have launched with the PS5 and would have had the app with PSVR2. But again, they've been dragging their feet for a couple years, but hopefully that's going to change now. All right. So a theater called the Underground. I agree, Silver Nexus. They should have a theater called the Underground, in an underground bunker, where we all watch a movie together and have my sweet logo there. Guys, I'm so excited about spooky season, man. I'm so excited about spooky season. We're halfway through the month. You know what that means. From here on out is like where the games begin. This is where stuff really starts ramping up. We have a ton of releases. The back of October is absolutely stacked. So this second half of October is going to be absolutely nuts. And I cannot wait. But we don't have to very long, because today, Propagation Paradise Hotel dropped on PlayStation, and woo-wee, man, here we go. It is finally, guys. Okay, so this is my review. Welcome, get comfy. This is my review of Propagation Paradise Hotel by Wannadev Studio. Surprisingly, from the same studio that brought us Ragnarok. Why do I say surprisingly? Because, first of all, this game looks really, really good. Now, of course, Ragnarok was designed with, the Quest hardware. It was I think their first game, possibly. And it's, got that basic low poly look to it. And let me just say, man, it is super refreshing to finally have a game that is really, really polished. And by that, I mean, it looks good. It runs at 120 frames per second native. It's got a sharp resolution. And I didn't really I think I encountered one bug the entire game. And the bug was such an easy one to fix. It really didn't do much, didn't hurt anything. So really, really hats off, a tip of the beanie to them. Like I've said before, man, it's interesting how all the games, this is how we know it's going to be good in the next couple months. Everything that we're extremely excited about, everything that is really hyped up, expect that to have problems at launch. Everything that's kind of unknown, that we're unsure about, a game that, we have no clue about, like Propagation Paradise Hotel, expect it to be awesome. That's how the safest thing. We need to raise our expectations for some of these games and lower them for the bigger ones, and be somewhere kind of in the middle. Mark Doust says only 4 hours to complete. AJ, come on, Mark Doust. Here's the thing, man. I don't get. I'm usually the champion of let's have longer games. Let's have things. Usually 5 hours is the minimum that I enjoy. I played this game on hard. I played it on hard for the very first time, and trying to review that in 2 days on hard mode, a game like this, I was like, man, I don't know if this was the best idea because of how much more fun I was having with it, or if it was the worst idea because of how stressful it was. But yeah, man. So for those who don't know, this is I'll get to let me make a note of the length of the game, because I got something to say on that. For those who don't know, Propagation Paradise Hotel is a horror survival adventure where you're trying to find your sister. You're like trapped in some or not an old hotel. You're trapped in a hotel, and you're trying to find your sister and escape. Everything's blocked off. There's zombies everywhere. And man, this game actually is a really good mix of horror survival, but I also felt like it had such good pacing that it's kind of like almost like action packed. Like it is a thrilling game that throws a couple really, really good surprises at you. And I felt like the pace was just perfect of this. The pacing, I should say, was really, really well done. It never wears out its welcome. It never felt like it drags on too long, obviously. But here's the thing: if you're not into the hardcore survival feeling, if you don't like to be stressed out when you play games and you just want to have a little bit more fun, there are multiple difficulties with this. There's like an easy, a normal, a hard. I played on hard, and there's a nightmare mode. On the hard mode, it's basically mostly the same, except you have slightly less access to ammunition, which I really, really loved because it made you really have to make almost every bullet count. You can spare some, but not many. And so like there was a couple times where, there's some good save points in this. There's an auto save, and then there's actual manual saves where you just go up to a book and you save. There was many times where I would go through a section and I'd either run out of ammo or that happened a couple times. There was really what happened more was I was like, I used way too much ammo here. I want to do this again and use less ammo. And you can really conserve ammunition by basically just aiming for headshots, not missing, things like that. It makes you have to be a little bit smart. Now, what made this really fun for me was that there were several sections where I still, even trying, especially kind of starting out and figuring things out, there was a couple spots where I would run out of ammunition, but I just decided to keep going. And so like I'd have to really sneak around. And, let me just say, man, riddled all throughout the hotel are corpses, like everywhere. And let me say, the zombies in this game, guys, in fact, most of the assets in this game look really, really good. There's so many games where it's like we've gotten like a game from Unity or something like that, and it just seems like it's like, oh, I've seen this asset before, or like, it's kind of dull and generic and they didn't modify it very much, and then it's like copied and pasted a bunch of times throughout the game. Now this is like one hotel, a pretty big hotel, but it's one hotel, so they do a good job of kind of mixing things up. The hallways, the atmosphere, man, is really good. But here's what got me, man. This game is like really, really scary, I would say. Different people are sensitive to scary games, some more than others. I'm like a middle of the road kind of per guy when it comes to like horror. There's a lot of games when something looks really good, it obviously and has good sound design, it can affect me more, and that is definitely the case here. There was a lot of times where I was creeping down hallways and it's like squeaking, the wood is like squeaking, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, and it's dark and you can't see like super well. You have basically a flashlight where you can go around. You have batteries that you can recharge the flashlight with, and the batteries will die. There's pretty ample batteries laying around everywhere. So that wasn't like a huge problem. I was actually probably a little too conservative with the flashlight. And then you do have a pistol in the game. There's another weapon as well. I'll try not to spoil it. There is like another weapon. But these zombies, man, I kid you not, are the best looking zombies I've seen in VR. I'm sorry, Saints and Sinners. but these actually look a little bit better. And the Saints and Sinners remaster ones look really good, but yeah, the zombies look amazing in this. There was a couple parts where there'd be like a corpse, and I got like way up in there and looked at it and was just like, just from like the teeth to the blood to the bloodshot eyes, the glossy weird looking eyes and stuff. Dude, the zombies look so good in this. Yep, Distracted said that's a bold statement, and I stand by it, man. The zombies in this look really good. I wasn't paying super close attention to whether or not they were reusing some of the zombies, but for the most part, I didn't notice. Like, it wasn't like obvious. If they did reuse some of them, it wasn't super obvious. Maybe one or two of them that are just kind of like generic bloody guts covered corpses and stuff. This game does have some pretty big gore in it as well. So yeah, if you're, it's got a little mix of everything. A little bit of survival horror, a little bit of action. There's actually some puzzles you can solve in it. Some really, really clever puzzles. I freaking hate puzzles, but I like these. They're pretty cool. They integrated everything. Like I said, nothing in this game seems very generic. Like it's a lot of it seems very like well handcrafted and nicely done. But yeah, man, the zombies too. The thing about them is that they're scattered everywhere, just laying around the hotel everywhere. And here's the thing, man. I don't know how people feel about jump scares. I know most people don't like them. I don't really care. I like however a game or whatever can scare me effectively, I'm with it. And this game definitely has some jump scares in it, because these zombies that are laying around everywhere, they can pop up at any time, and you never know which one is going to pop up and which one's going to stay there. And it just constantly keeps you like just on your heels, like, or on your toes, I should say. Dude, so many times it got me. And the other thing is, it seems like it's kind of randomized. So just a heads up, just because you think a zombie, just because you go past the zombie once, doesn't mean it might not pop up again your next time around. So yeah, that got me really good. That caught me off guard a couple times. And again, I can't really spoil it because you never know. Sometimes like none of them will pop up. Sometimes like one will get you. And yeah, it got me really good a couple times, man. Silver Nexus, thank you so much for the donation. Appreciate the support, man. Appreciate all your guys' support as always. Says, just settling in the underground, basking in the wisdom from Master AJ of the Game Cat Dojo. So glad you didn't get stuck working late. Yeah, man, me too. But hold on, I've got some notes here. So there's boss fights in this game, which I really, really appreciated. And the cool thing is they actually kind of integrate some of the bosses and some of the characters into some of like the lore, into the story stuff that's going on, which is nice. I wouldn't say it's like an amazing story or anything, but I actually was kind of like interested in the characters and wanting, like, you know, I think the characters are pretty likable. One thing that's funny though is that most of them are like trying to be, they have these voice actors, and most of them are supposed to be like American, and they clearly have a different accent. I don't remember where Juana Dev is from. I'm sorry, guys. But I think they got some local voice talent, because sometimes they'll be speaking and they'll sound like Norwegian or something, and then but they'll be trying to do like a country accent, and it's just like, it doesn't work, but it was funny though. It was funny. Waleed says 0.4 and 5 price drop to 300 USD and PS Home revamp. Let's see here. So what other notes do I have here? Okay, so guys, as for the graphics, there is something I want to point out and make sure this is addressed. Graphically, it looks fantastic overall. It looks way better than some of the, higher profile games that we've been getting. This game looks like a PSVR2 game, which I really, really am thankful for, because stuff like Project Wingman, Green Hell, these have all the hype, all the attention, and they end up looking like crap. Actually, Project Wingman doesn't look like crap, but it doesn't look that good either. But yeah, it looks really nice. There's lots of really interactive stuff. The whole point of a game, one of the selling points of VR is like, hey, you're put into the game now. And the more like things you can do to get immersed really go a long way. Things like graphics obviously help a lot with the immersion. But there's a lot of stuff that you can interact with in this game that I really appreciated. The weapon has manual reloading, and everything is like, holstered on your, you do have like a holster here. You've got your health here. It's a little health spray, and you find little like bottles of medicine, and you have to basically manually reload the health spray as well. So like anything one element that I think I've really, really loved about this is the exploration of this. This game has been getting compared a lot to Resident Evil 1, and rightfully so. I mean, think about that. That is a big deal right there. And I agree. If you're a fan of Resident Evil, you definitely don't want to be sleeping on this game, because it is clearly taken a lot of inspiration from Resident Evil 1. Just imagine, instead of exploring a mansion, you're exploring a hotel. And, zombies might not be the only thing awaiting in the darkness here. But I don't want to give away too much. There's some nice surprises, let's say. But yeah, there's from the gameplay mechanics, the shooting feels really accurate, feels really good. You can hold two hands on the gun. The doors, you grab and open, and you can close. And these sick bastards, man, these sick bastards knew what they were doing with this game, because there's a lot of stuff. There's kind of a trick I would use sometimes in games where, like, let's say you're exploring a bunch, and you are opening drawers and stuff. And so to kind of know and keep track of where you've explored, like, you would leave a drawer open, right? I mean, that's like kind of a common sense thing. But see, this game, these devs knew what they were doing. If you open a drawer, after a few seconds, it goes and it closes again. You sick bastards. So like, I never knew, it was hard to keep track. It made it a lot harder to keep track of like what I had opened, what I had explored and scavenged. There's lots of scavenging in this. Like I said, you mostly scavenge for batteries, for health, and for ammunition. There's also little collectibles, which is pretty cool. Just a nice little extra thing. But yeah, man. So one thing about the graphics I do want to point out, I meant to mention this earlier. It looks excellent. It looks really, really awesome. I will say, I don't know if this is a headset by headset basis thing. At first, I will say I was a little concerned, because I actually started noticing like a little bit of that Mura effect, like that grainy thing. And like, I know that's like everybody's favorite word, but just gotta point it out that, I did see some of that here and there. It seemed like it was worse in the beginning. And then throughout the rest of the game, I hardly noticed it, if at all. Definitely not like a deal breaker, definitely not anything that's horrible. But I did notice it here and there. But hey, if that's the price I got to pay, a little bit of that here and there, every now and again for graphics like this, like, I will take this, because honestly, a lot of the times I'm exploring and there's like bodies on the ground, and I'm getting up close. These are some of the real ass looking zombies I've seen. Like, I mean, and when shit looks real in VR, holy crap, man, it is next level, like, immersion. And you're just like, whoa. Like, there was like some gym room I was in, and there was like a body on the ground, and just, I don't know if it was the lighting or what, the reflections. This game has fantastic lighting, by the way. But yeah, it was like, I remember just like walking by, every time I walked by the same corpse or whatever, I was like, whoa, like that looks almost real, how good it looks. It's super polished. You know, that's, like I said, that's one thing that I've really wanted to see more from PSVR games. It's what I've always loved about, like, you know, console or high-end PC games in general, is when games have that extra layer of polish where, you know, skin reflects, or like shiny surfaces are shiny, and things like that. This has a lot of that. This is a fantastic looking game overall. Rethmania says Real Ass Zombies was my favorite in the series. Um, but yeah, man, the tension in this game though is palpable. Whew. Man, I was pretty scared as I went around exploring in this game. But like, you know, like I said, I love horror games. I love the fear, the fear of the unknown and exploring in the dark. There's also jump scares to complement it, so it's like it just constantly keeps you on your toes, and it will constantly surprise you, and I love that about it, man. It is some really high production values here. I love the boss fights. Now, in regards to, so I saw, I think it was marked out saying like the length of the game. Now, like I said, man, I am usually the champion of, for like, I need long, like long ass games. Here's the thing though, man. So it took me on hard, it took me about 3.5 to 4 hours to beat this. Usually my cutoff is 5, but let me say, man, this was the longest freaking 3.5 to 4 hours of my life. The longest. Like, there's games that have come out like Fracked and stuff where it was like it really left you wanting more, but not really in a good way, where it's like I feel like it was missing content or missing something. This is 3.5 to 4 hours of like, it just keeps going, and it keeps changing things up. Like I said, it has excellent pacing. I typically, short games like this, if it was just like one gameplay mechanic, it'd be one thing, but something about it, about this game, is also so memorable. Like, I remember quite a bit about this game, and I think a lot of moments in this game will stick with me because it's pretty much really fun and exciting from start to finish. And that's not an easy feat, man. There was just like so much wandering around, being terrified. So like a lot of, I feel like I experienced a lot of action because of just how many zombies and stuff I took on. And yeah, it gets really, really intense. There's a couple really creative and cool sequences that you have to go through that'll be a nice little surprise to, and they mix things up. There's the boss fights. I mean, in 3 or 4 hours, they crammed more into this 3 or 4 hours than you know, some games have in 5 to 8 to 10 hours. No joke. This doesn't really feel like a slow paced game. It feels perfectly paced, and I think that goes a long way for it. It's also a $20 game, which I think is quite a steal actually for something of this, with this much polish and this much you know, just well-designed gameplay, well-designed everything. I feel like $20 is a really, really good price. And for you know, that's a big difference between, you know, like I said, I played Project Wingman. I beat Project Wingman. And like that's $30 for 6 levels. Lasts about 2 hours maybe, and that was left me extremely dissatisfied, like by the end of it, because really just didn't feel like it was enough content. I actually enjoyed the gameplay of that game, but there wasn't good graphics, there wasn't enough content. Like, it was just, you know, and so I really feel like $20, especially for a lot of people that don't have the time or the budget, this is an absolute must-have in that regard. GC13, the Diet Pepsi Cat with the donation. Thank you so much. Oh my God, $50 GC. Woo! Oh my goodness. Lord have mercy. says, refusing to fix your Patreon won't stop me from giving, AJ. I always love the content that the PSVR Underground gives. And shout out to my fellow game cats in the chat. Let's go. Woo. Happy spooky season to you, GC. And you obviously donated that because you didn't hear what I was saying about Saints and Sinners earlier. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, you know, like, so I do consider Saints and Sinners, like, obviously one of the best. Wait a minute, hold on. Sal has another donation. Thank you, Sal, my dude, for the donation. Says, every time I have a question, you answered it. Boys on top of it. Great review so far, AJ. Thank you, man. Guys, if it isn't apparent enough, I thoroughly enjoyed this game. This is absolutely one of my favorite titles on PSVR2. One of my favorite horror titles of all time. Granted, before VR, I wasn't the biggest horror game fan. Like, it wasn't like super, they weren't like super interesting to me. I like some. I played, you know, obviously some of the old Resident Evils. This game is so well designed, and it really borrows from a lot of the best games out there. And it makes its own, you know, thing out of it. And for those looking for like a Resident Evil 1 kind of experience in VR, maybe with a slight bit more action, maybe with a little bit more action and a little bit, you know, stuff, this is definitely the closest thing. I mean, this really, you know, for such a small title, a small team, I should say, they really went above and beyond and made a pretty dope product here. Yeah, man, I don't know like what to, it's kind of hard for me to give this like a number score. Like, I don't really like feel like a number score does it well, but I could give it a letter grade if that makes sense. I'd give it an A. And an A makes more sense to me. Maybe like A minus, which is excellent. This is, of course, I believe, the first must-have title of spooky season. This is the best horror game we've gotten since maybe Saints and Sinners. I don't remember the last horror game we got. But yeah, man, this is excellent. This is a truly fantastic game and experience. And yeah, it's super fun. I have no problem. I take zero issue with the length of this game. Because I think it is super high quality. It is priced appropriately. It has, you know, enough content and variety and boss fights. You know, it's not one of those games that, you know, it's not a roguelike. Okay. If you want something, you can go replay the same fight, the same two enemies over and over. There's plenty of other roguelites you can go play. This is not about that. This is a story driven adventure. Something they don't make well known very much is this is actually the ending. I don't know if I should mention this or not. Well, I won't mention the ending, but let's just say this is a part this is definitely a part one of this. Again, usually I'd have a problem with that, but I really enjoyed this so much, and I felt like it was, you know, I felt like it was a full experience. There's been games like Hubris and stuff, which is also supposed to be like a part one. I didn't feel like it was designed. Like I didn't really have any interest in the story or to see what happens next with Hubris. I enjoyed the game, but this was actually one that I was like, wow, like I actually kind of want to see where this goes story-wise, because I like the writing in it. And I like their style, and yeah, it's really well done. So guys, 2 big thumbs up. Go buy this game right now. Support these developers. We need to support games like this, unless you're just not into horror games, which is fine. Like I said, there are other difficulties. But yeah, I feel like this is a good horror VR game for anybody that likes horror games or that can handle them. This is a fantastic one. This is like, honestly, I don't know if I can say off the top of my head, but this is somewhere in the top 10 range of all PSVR2 games for me. I liked it that much. It's really fun. Can I replay it endlessly? No, probably not. There's no platinum trophy, which is a drawback. But like I said, it's just one of the most memorable games I've played so far on PSVR2. And quite frankly, I hope we get more games like this. I hope we get more games like this, like Hubris, story-driven games. I don't care if they're a little bit shorter, if they're really, really well done and feel like, you know, satisfying. And like I said, man, this is the longest freaking 3.5 hours of my life. Like, but I don't know if I'd recommend everybody play on hard. If you do, like I said, just keep in mind, make those bullets count. Because they basically make the enemies stronger, and they give you less ammo to work with. So that's about it. Other than that, I think everything else is pretty much the same. But man, tons of like spine chilling, man. That's what I tweeted about earlier. The last thing I'll say on this game is the summary is that this is a spine chilling, frightful and thrilling survival horror adventure. And I cannot recommend this game enough. Congrats and thank you to Wanna Dev Studio for bringing this to us and for bringing it with love, which we need more of over here. So I will happily support this game because it is awesome. It is one of my personal favorites now. So super, super cool. Great VR mechanics, great gameplay, great enemies, great bosses. The hotel looks great. Atmosphere, sound design, all of it. Super well done. Super, super well done. But guys, yeah, big thumbs up. Must recommend. Now, if you're not into horror games, you're in luck because there is also a huge sale on PSN right now. So as always, we are going to go through and look at everything on sale right now. And I'm going to give it the thumbs up or thumbs down of approval. Man, good times though. I've been so excited about Propagation Paradise Hotel, you guys. I've been so, you can ask Julia, like I was talking about it all night. Brian and I were texting all night long. We were like, oh, did you do this? Did you see this? Yeah. Like we were just so giddy and excited about it. And it feels good, man. It feels good when we have like a really good game that's also like feels like a really good PSVR2 game. You know, some of these other games that have come out, it's like, yeah, they're really good. But this is something like new and feels next gen. I still can't even shut up about Propagation. I still can't shut up about it because I really, really loved it that much. All right. All right, guys. So, whoo, man. So let's do this. Let's get into the games on sale right now. Give me 1 second too. I'm going to get a drink of water because I need some water after that. All right, so there's a slew of PSVR2 games on sale right now. And this is, of course, using psprices.com, and it's filtered the best I could to do VR and PS5. Sometimes some other things sneak in there, so let's break it down one by one. First and foremost, we've got the newly released Red Matter is $19.99. It's 20% off. I mean, this should have already been added as a day one. Hopefully you got the free upgrade. This just came out on the 5th, and it is a remaster of one of the best looking PSVR 1 games that was out there. Now, it doesn't have the technical prowess or, the mind-blowing graphical achievement and physics-based interaction stuff that Red Matter 2 has, obviously, because that's a newer game. But this game still looks fantastic. It is 90 frames per second in the headset. It's also kind of spooky. So if, let's say, you like horror, but you're not into action or combat or things like this is purely puzzle-based. but has some great like cinematic storytelling to it. And yeah, huge thumbs up. By the way, feel free to give your thumbs up or thumbs down. I don't care if you disagree with me or not. I love to hear all opinions and stuff. Brandon McLean, we will get to that in just a second, actually. Huge thumbs up for Red Matter, man. Huge thumbs up. Next we've got Crisis Brigade 2. This is originally $19.99. It's 25% off and it is now $14.99. This also just came out, and like I said before, man, you know, a lot of people wanted backwards compatibility because they didn't want to miss out on a lot of the great PSVR1 titles out there. This game is actually much better on PSVR2, and it's really good for $15, man. Again, if you're not into spooky season, this is a good get for $15. The cool thing about this, it's not only remastered, but it oh wait, I think, well, it's too late now, but I had some footage of this. It's not only a good remaster, like visually, it looks excellent. This is the true time crisis kind of evolution in VR. It's no longer what's it called? It's no longer Crossfire Sierra Squad. This is the true time crisis type games. Also, if you know your movies, if you like your action movies and stuff, there's like Matrix themed levels. There's Scarface, Terminator references, all sorts of stuff in there for you to discover, which is really cool. So, excellent game. You know, an arcade rail shooter. Keep in mind, it's just an arcade rail shooter. The cool thing about it is that you can have a shield in there, so you can play sitting down now, which is nice. But yeah, man, I would actually give the thumbs up to Crisis Brigade 2. Again, I think some of these remasters and stuff are getting overshadowed by some of the hyped up games, more high profile games that kind of were duds. So you know, it's not I wouldn't say Crisis Brigade is a must-have title, but it's a very, very good one. Foglands is on sale. Do not pre-order. Never pre-order anything. Although, I will say, with Foglands, I'm going to throw up the trailer here. I did watch Brian's interview on Foglands, and I really appreciated the developers being transparent, and I actually am more excited after watching the interview. I feel like my expectations are a little bit better set. You know, it's not necessarily about every single game has to be a next gen 10 out of 10, you know, genre defying experience. It's like, no, we just like to have our expectations in the right place. And I feel like my expectations are in the right place with this. I'm really excited about it. I'm expecting, you know, maybe some things here and there. But and again, I'm not the biggest fan of roguelikes, but I like a lot of what it's got going on here. Anyways, that's not even a sale game. That's just a pre-order, so we'll skip that. Pistol Whip for $23.99. Now, Pistol Whip, if you've never played it before, is really, really fun. It's not a lengthy game. It's very short. It kind of makes you feel like John Wick in VR, playing a rhythm game. So graphically, I've never been crazy about the graphics. They look okay. They look better on PSVR2, obviously. What makes Pistol Whip so great is the shooting to the rhythm of the music and the dodging of the bullets. And I love that on PSVR2, when a bullet whizzes by you, your headset gets a little rumble. I'd like to see this a little bit cheaper, but you know, I don't think it's a must-have right now. And you know, even with the Halloween content stuff, it's not really enough to be like, you know, go out and buy it right now. But I still give a thumbs up to Pistol Whip because it's a great game. Okay, so here we go with Hubris. Is originally $29.99. Now it's $22.49, or if you have PlayStation Plus, It's $20.99. Let me tell you how it is with Hubris. I already have a review, so you can go check out that review as well. I think I gave it an 8.7. After some time has passed, I'm still pretty much around the same place. If anywhere, it's somewhere between like a lower 8s to an 8.7. It's in the mid 8s range for me. I would say it is just a straightforward 5-hour sci-fi action adventure. Has great variety. Love the swimming mechanics. It does have a few moments where it kind of has like this kind of like Half-Life Alyx thing they're going for a little bit. Like in the world, the way the world looks, the buildings look and stuff. Graphically, it looks pretty great. It does use reprojection though. But yeah, man, I like Hubris a lot. And again, there is a demo now, but here's the thing, man. I wouldn't even bother playing the demo. I would just straight up pick this up. This is getting a thumbs up for me. The only drawback to Hubris, is that, like, so disclaimer, make sure you play this game. If you play this game, go to the settings, turn the sharpness all the way up. I don't know why that's lowered to begin with. The only drawback with Hubris is that, like, you know, it's a fun adventure. There's lots of variety and stuff. But it does fall on the side of kind of just generic sci-fi. Like, it's all a bunch of futuristic looking stuff, but there's no compelling story. There's nothing like interesting about it. It just looks nice and plays nice, I would say. And has good gameplay. If you do play this, again, turn the sharpness all the way up and play it on hard, because the normal difficulty is boring. They didn't balance the difficulty well here. Hard mode feels like normal mode. It's a good game. It's a good game. Really enjoyed it, man. Really enjoyed it. And yeah, there is a demo. So if you're not sure, go check out the demo. I don't know I'm guessing the demo is the beginning of the game. There's a free trial. So maybe go check that out, but be warned, like, the beginning of the game is like kind of the slowest, most boring part of the game, is what I like, in my opinion. So, but we'll see what happens. We'll see if the demo actually sells. I'll be actually interested to see if, the demo actually sells people on Hubris, or if they're like, no, I'm good. But thumbs up for Hubris if you're not, you know, feeling spooky season right now. It's good. What do we got next here? We've got Pixel Ripped 1978 is $19.99 with PlayStation Plus $17.49. I'd like this to go a little bit cheaper. I love the Pixel Ripped series. But I like 1995 more, and I like 1989 more. The other two, I think 1978 is the weakest of the three. I still enjoyed it, but I'll tell you the thing. I would say I would actually just recommend getting 1995 over this one, because 1995 actually has there's what made Pixel Rip really fun for me. Is like there's this survival mechanic in it where you're playing the game on the screen. It's like the game within the game where there's people walking around the room and trying to interrupt your gameplay and stuff. And you have to cause distractions or something. So like you're playing a game and you're also causing distractions and stuff in the room, which I think is nice. And 1978 doesn't really do that. It took away pretty much one of my favorite mechanics of it. But yeah, I'd wait for a deeper sale. So I love you, Pixel Ripped, but I'm gonna have to say no, pass on this one. I'd wait for a deeper sale on it, which hurts because I love this series, but I like 1995 more. Matthew Longo says Atari sucks. That's funny. Oh, Mr. Kate Canaveral says I actually like 1978 better than 1995, but he grew up with Atari. Yeah, I grew up with like Nintendo NES. And so Atari was a little before my time, obviously. But I still enjoyed the game. I did like some Atari games. I like Pitfall and stuff. I just wish it went a little bit more. I wish it went a little bit more Atari, and a little bit more wild. But yeah, man. Anyway, so sorry, Pixel Art, but no. Next we have Synth Riders Remastered. This is of course another rhythm game. Is 32% off, $16.99. Synth Riders is excellent on PSVR2. I actually think, there's a lot of games that got remasters and stuff from PSVR1. Synth Riders is a great example of a game that it like really got enhanced on PSVR2. The colors, the contrast, it's so colorful. It feels really good to play. It's got a great soundtrack, great music to choose from. $16. It also has multiplayer. $16. I'm going to definitely give the thumbs up here. It's pretty good. Now, of course, most of you are probably trying to save your money for Vertigo 2 and for Foglands or whatever ends up being good this month. Totally understandable. In most cases, like I would say no right now because it's spooky season and I'd be recommending, but I'm trying to just say, I'm breaking my own rules here a little bit and just saying, just judging by game, by deal basis here, whether I think it's worth it or not. So I'm doing things a little bit differently. Do I think Synth Riders is worth $16? Hell yes, I do. It is so much better on PSVR 2, as Scott, the PSVR 2 Game Cat for Life says. Yeah, it's excellent, man. Next, we've got The Last Clockwinder is $18.74. It's 35% off, or $16.24 with PlayStation Plus. This is a tricky one. I think The Last Clockwinder, unfortunately, kind of got buried at launch by all the other stuff going on. It is a good game. It has actually got some pretty nice production values to it. It looks really nice and crisp and colorful on the headset. Here's why I'm giving The Last Clockwinder a thumbs down here, is because I haven't cared to go back and finish it. Despite liking it, I like it. Maybe it's just not for me. If you need a light-hearted puzzle game, maybe you'll enjoy it and it'll be good for you. I think it's a good, if not great game, but I have not wanted to finish it, and it's not even that long of a game. So like, to me, I'm a little hesitant. So great game, good game. I'll say good game. I don't know if it's great, but it's a really, really good game. But no, sorry, Last Clockwinder. Wait a minute. All You Are Is History is coming in with some news, only running till the 16th. There's another sale. Synapse is 20% off. Synapse is a good one. That would get a thumbs up. Is this in the UK, All You Are Is History? Is this in the European store, or is this in the US? Jurassic World is 50% off. No, screw Jurassic World. That game sucks. I don't care what anyone says. Jurassic World is terrible. Awful game. I hate it. No, bad. Townsman is 38% off. A good game. I enjoyed Townsman a lot. Actually, my dude Sal messaged me and said that GameStop has Townsman VR for like $8 right now. So forget the sale here. Go get the physical version and play that. I've got like 10 hours in that game and still haven't beaten it. And I would like to get back to it, but I don't know if I will, but I did enjoy all the 10 hours I spent with it. And then finally, Moss Bundle is 40% off. Yes, Moss is an absolute must-have. The bundle, one of my favorite games. Anyways, let's keep going here. So now as we get to Switchback for VR, oh, this is going to be possibly a little bit more contentious opinion. Switchback finally got a sale. I remember somebody asking me if they should get it then, and I said it'll probably have a sale around Halloween, most likely. And I was right. $27.99. It's originally $40, which is insane. That's way too much. $27.99, 30% off. Here's the thing about Switchback. In all honesty, after the update, I can honestly say I think it is like one of the best looking games on PSVR. It looks jaw-dropping. It is like stunningly beautiful. It looks fantastic. Here's the problem though. The game itself. I think the game itself, now mileage will vary, opinions will differ here. So totally feel free to give your own thumbs up or thumbs down for Switchback. I think Switchback is boring, like really boring. I like the first level or two. I really, really enjoy the first level or two of Switchback, but the game is super boring. It's boring. It's repetitive. I just don't like it, especially after the halfway point in the game. So I don't know, man. I don't think you should ever be on a horror themed roller coaster that's also a shooter and be bored. The good news here is that the chat seems to disagree with me quite a bit here, and they seem to really like it, and they seem to, disagree with me. So, I don't know. I love it visually. I think it's a really good eye candy. I love I like things about it. I just think it's boring after a while for most of it, for more than half of it. And I can't, man. I'll if Switchback was at the $20 range, I'd say yes. I know it's only $7 above it, so you could do worse. I'm gonna say no. Just my personal opinion, man. We're here to fight and argue over games and have opinions. GameCat Chicago might have the secret here. He says Switchback plus Indiana Jones music on temple level is amazing. Okay, I never thought of trying that. Maybe that will change everything. No, but I like I love Rush of Blood. Rush of Blood is literally like one of the reasons I got into VR. I love light gun shooters, rail shooters and stuff. I absolutely love Rush of Blood. I can't say the same about Switchback. I really like the first 2 or 3 levels of Switchback. But after that, it just falls off a cliff, which is why I don't know. It slows down. It's too slow paced for a roller coaster. And also trying to replay some of the levels is kind of a hassle. Boring roller coaster. Yep. I love it. Matthew Longo, I agree. Fix Rush of Blood, please. Yeah, I would love. All You Are is History says Rush of Blood is better in every way, but it's nice to have in your library if you can get it cheap enough. Yeah. Yeah, apparently they what up, John Ander Ruiz de Azua Azkiaga? That is a long YouTube name. You should just make like a abbreviation and just change your YouTube name to Jarday. I'll just call you. Can I call you Jarday? Do you mind if I call you Jarday? Jarday. Yeah. Synapse apparently just got added. I don't even know. I don't remember what he said. 20, 30% off, something like that. But Synapse is a good time. Really, really good time. Just for a roguelike game, it does not have a lot of depth. It's super fun. I highly recommend it. It is nice to get David Hayter in there in a game, and Jennifer Hale. It is definitely a polished game for the most part, but in terms of depth, just don't, for a roguelike, it's one of the least replayable roguelikes I've ever played, and I haven't played many, but it's one of the least replayable roguelikes. Everything else about it is pretty awesome though. The telekinesis is great. Love the telekinesis, and I did enjoy the majority of my time. I just wish it had more depth, like the Light Brigade. Like the Light Brigade, anytime I want to go back and play the Light Brigade, it's like there's cool shit to do and unlock and upgrade and stuff, and you kind of blow through it all quickly. Mark Dow says, Hubris or Synapse, what's the price What's the price on Synapse? Is it what is it? Did you say it was 30% off or 20% off? I need to know the price here. Okay. Synapse is 20% off. Which it's usually, oh God, I forgot. I need to know the price of Synapse, and that'll make things easier. Oh, I think it was 30. So it should be like $28, like more around the $30 range. Yeah, I would love Synapse around like the $25 range. So yeah, it's the, I don't know, man. The Headbite says Synapse's abandoned masterpiece. One boss, come on. Yeah. Yeah. Synapse could have been like an all-time great if it just had more content and depth and replayability. Because the game is designed to be replayable, but it's not replayable very much. It's really fun the first time, but then like, I don't know, after that it's like, ugh. It's like, I don't want to keep doing this. So just me, but really, really fun the first time though. Anyways, let's keep going here. All right, what do we have next? We have one of my favorite titles, 45% off at $31.99 or $21.99 with PlayStation Plus. We've got Demeo. I love Demeo, man. I absolutely adore this game. I haven't really gone back to it in a while, but I did spend like dozens of hours with it. And I really loved it at the time. I think I've kind of moved on now. But man, Demeo is high quality, super fun tabletop strategy, dungeon crawler, and huge thumbs up for me. Demeo, I've got a Demeo t-shirt somewhere. I like that game so much. I freaking love that game. GC13, my cowardly assassin is in the chat. Demeo, look, the biggest misconception about Demeo is that you can only play it multiplayer. That is not true. I played the majority of it single player, and I absolutely loved it. No, you can absolutely play Demeo single player, and you can choose 4 different characters. You just play with a group of 4, controlling them all at once. GC13 and Creeper Betty were my Demeo squad. And yeah, man, I will say, so I played Demeo mostly single player, and I think, and you can absolutely play it single player. That's how I played it the most and enjoyed it. But I will say, playing with GC13 and Creeper Betty was one of the most fun multiplayer experiences in my life. No joke. It is really, really fun if you have the right people to play with. It's a really good time. Super replayable. Stephen Heaton says final boss is a killer. Yeah, he's a bastard, man. He is a bastard, that final boss. But I got him. If you have the right strategy, you do have to have kind of like a specific set of characters, and you can take him down easy. When I had the right characters and stuff and right preparations, I destroyed him. But yeah, without that, he crushes you. All right, but Demeo, huge thumbs up. Next, we've got Until You Fall for $19.99. It's 20% off. I don't know what it is about this game, man. Like, I feel like I've always should have liked this game a lot more than I do. I don't get it. I love the art style. I love the music. I love sword fighting. Yet, for some reason, I've just never been able to get it hooked. Like, after Until You Fall has just never really hooked me. I did spend a couple hours with it and stuff, and it's enhanced on PSVR2 a little bit. It's not the PC version. It's just an enhanced version of the original with just sharper graphics and stuff. I don't know. I'm gonna say no to Until You Fall. It literally, on paper, it should be one of my favorite games, but it's not. I just don't even care to play it very much. And I don't understand why, because again, on paper, it's like everything I should love. I don't get it. It makes no sense. But but it's a decent game. Still, thumbs down for Until You Fall, unfortunately. Puzzling Places, aka Poopla, is 30% off. It is $14.99 or $13.99 with PlayStation Plus. A good game. And Looper says it's in your top 25, AJ, over Swordsman. Yeah, I'd probably take that back now. I don't think either one of those are in my top 25 at this point. There's been a lot of releases since then. Puzzling Places is a good jigsaw puzzle game. There's a Halloween level, that I know about, thanks to Looper requesting it on a Saturday Night Live stream. Yeah, I mean, look, I'll say yes because it's a good price and it's whatever. Do I play Puzzling Places in my free time? Absolutely not. But it's good. And I think it's a cool concept. I like the photogrammetry that they use. And yeah, if you need to just kill some time, like, it's a decent way, but I'd rather kill some time killing things in a game. What is up, A Dizzle? Yo, shout out to A Dizzle, who went down to the link in the description and bought some non-profit merch. Got himself a nice hoodie. Hey, bro, thank you for supporting the underground. I mean, obviously, I don't get any money for it, but you know, it's still you repping the goods is support enough for me, and I hope it keeps you warm this winter, man. Make sure you guys go get yourself a hoodie if you haven't. They're dirt cheap. It's like $20, 20 something bucks, and super cheap. Shout out to you, A Dizzle, for shizzle. Let's see here. So Puzzling Places, I mean, I'll give it a thumbs up, but you can really wait. What do we got next here? We've got, oh man, it just gets more and more interesting, kind of, and then it gets less interesting. We've got Kayak VR Mirage for is 20% off at $18.39. I think Kayak VR Mirage is a fantastic tech demo. I like the graphics. I like the physics. It's beautiful. The problem is it's so boring. That's the problem with Kayak VR Mirage. It's a very straightforward thing. Like it's almost like something, it's a good showpiece title, maybe for people that, you know, don't play video games or something. It's a good tech demo, but it is a bad game. There's no creativity. There's just realism in kayaking. and like, yeah, it looks great. I like a lot of things about it, but I just can't be bothered to go back and play. It is something that was really exciting at launch because, you know, I hadn't played something that looked like that. But yeah, and I love the physics, but yeah, it's just not a fun game. Hey Dizzle, swooping back around, man, with the donation. Thank you so much, man. It says, here's your missing profit from the sweet hoodie. Hey man, I if you enjoy the hoodie and you like it and it keeps you warm this winter, that's profit enough. But I appreciate your support, my friend. But yeah, Kayak VR Mirage, sorry guys, no. I would love for them to get crazy with this game. Get some, you know, there is supposed to be like some updates happening in the future. Obviously that stuff got delayed. They pushed it back significantly. There's supposed to be like multiplayer. There's supposed to be maybe river rapids or something. Like something, it needs an injection to the heart of some excitement, because it's just not exciting is the problem. I'd rather it have some goofy, cartoonish, like crazy river rapids and stuff than just be a boring, realistic place to sit around and do nothing. So no. Thumper is $6.99, 75% off, or $4.99 with PlayStation Plus. Thumper's awesome. Hopefully you have this already, got the free upgrade, and if not, you can get it for like a $5 upgrade, or you can buy it here. Thumper is like an amazing rhythm game. You know, it's really, really good. I like that price. I love the game. If you have some really, really nice headphones, then I'm going to give Thumper a big thumbs up. It's an old game, but it's a good one, and it's challenging. It's good rhythm gameplay. Yeah, and it's very creative and exciting and fun. And it gets brutal. It is super difficult too, by the way. So if you don't like difficult games, maybe stay away. But yeah, I love Thumper. I'm, you know, having played it 7 years ago or whatever, it's like I'm not super thrilled about it anymore, but it's good. It's good. Let's see here. Vince Virtua, what is up, dude? Says Thumper is excellent. I did all S ranks, man. Holy crap. Good for you. Gary Smith says, great. Never really played it on PSVR1, but Upgrade to 2 is great. Excellent. Yeah, it's a really fun game. It's not like a revolutionary game, but it's one of those smaller, like artsy, creative games that just also happens to have really good gameplay too, which is kind of rare. Usually the artistic games are like, you know, they look cool or they're very creative, but they don't really have good gameplay. That is not the case here. Really good gameplay. Oh, what else we got next? Oh my God. Oh no, you guys. Oh no. What the Bat is -$30. -$30. Like it's already starting, guys. My brain is shutting down when I see this. What the Bat is 30% off. It's usually $24.99. What the Bat, indeed. But with the sale is $17.49. No, you could not pay me to play this game again. I checked this game out for just a little bit. I'm so mad. I think I got a review key for it. Thank God, because I'd be freaking livid if I had paid for this game. So yeah, no, this is like one of the worst games I've ever played in my life. Yeah, What the Bat is one of the dumbest games ever. It sucks. It's not fun. It's not good gameplay. It looks like ass, and it's bad in every single way. And it's a VR. It's, you know, there's VR killer apps and there's VR killers. This is a VR killer. This is one of those games people be like, oh, you gotta check this out. Look, come play this. Look at this. Look, this is VR. Dude, if What the Bat was the first game I ever experienced on VR, I would have fucking punted my VR out the window. Like, just straight punted it through the window and been like, VR sucks. VR is trash. No. Garbage game. Horrible. Awful. Never. Oh my God. Shout out to Silver Nexus, who purchased an official Underground hoodie. It says, prepared for another winter in Florida. Oh man. Thank you, man. Thank you for getting a hoodie. Yeah, man, I hope you really like it. I love the hoodies. I was wearing my hoodie before the show. I've been wearing that hoodie a lot lately because it's gotten colder. Thank you, man. You cheered me up after having to talk about What the Bat. Because I don't want to talk about What the Bat anymore. What the Bat is, I'm going to give it 2 thumbs down. It's the only game on this list so far that I am likely going to give 2 thumbs down. Not 1 thumb down is not enough for What the Bat. It needs 2 thumbs down. It's terrible. Avoid at all cost. For the love of humanity, stay away from this game. Anyways, so that's the simple way of saying no, don't buy What the Bat. Ragnarok is $14.99, 40% off, originally $24.99. This is another divisive one. This is a tricky one. This is the same developers that I'm gonna try to say this in a nice way. This is the same developers that just made Propagation Paradise Hotel today. Yeah, go buy Propagation Paradise Hotel. That's a nice way I'm going to say it. Look, some people really, really love Ragnarok. I like the soundtrack. I do like the mechanics of the better you do, the further you row and you go, and the higher score you get. And if you're playing multiplayer, then then I do like you. Like it kind of has like a racing mechanic to it. GC13, did you end up playing Ragnarok? It seems like you did, and it seems like you like it. But yeah, Adrenaline is Brown says, AJ, have you watched Quest 3 reviews, or are you planning? I haven't watched any Quest 3 reviews. If it gets like some exclusives or exclusive feature or some reason, you know, I think at the end of the day, owning everything is the best way to go. If you can, you get the best of all worlds that way. But quite frankly, I don't got that kind of cheese. And I don't really have that kind of time either. The time is another thing. But I'll get to it eventually. I'll check it out eventually. But I, especially with all these games coming out right now for PSVR2, I don't have a lot of interest at this moment, and I don't care about mixed reality. I don't even know if that's a feature of it. I haven't. That just shows you I have no idea about the Quest 3 right now, but I don't really care. I'll check it out later. Let's see here. Okay, so GC GC says yes, she's liking Ragnarok. She beat my scores. Well, that's not hard to do because I hardly played it. All right. I'm gonna say no to Ragnarok, but go buy their new game, Propagation Paradise Hotel, out today. $20, $5 more. You get a PSVR2 quality game that is freaking amazing in Propagation Paradise Hotel. Go buy their other game. All right, let's see here. Next, we've got, I'm gonna probably upset some people here. We've got Cosmo Dread, 35% off, $11.24 or $9.74 with PlayStation Plus. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Dread Halls is probably, you know, surprisingly one of my most played PSVR 1 games, thanks to Saturday Night Live Stream's Viewer's Choice. I don't really think I like Cosmo Dread nearly as much as I did Dread Halls. Is it good? It's okay. I think the graphics and stuff really take away from the atmosphere for me. The enemies are not very scary. You have guns, which take away from the tension a little bit. I don't know, man. I'm sorry. Everyone's getting mad at me. Everyone's yelling at me. Dude, listen, man, like it's okay. It's okay. For $9, it's decent. But I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to give Cosmo Dread a thumbs down on this one. It's just okay. I think it's, I don't know. I don't think it's that great. Or at least I haven't gotten too much into it. It's less scary. Looper says, yes, it's less scary than Dread Halls, and I kept telling you that, so you should have been prepared. Well, it didn't work enough, Looper. I like the game. I like the game. Do I like Cosmo Dread? Yes. Am I recommending it during the sale, even during spooky season? Unfortunately not. Sorry. I think it's just okay. Anyways, moving on. We've got Star Tenders, Intergalactic Bartending. 50% off, $8.24, $7.49. No, this game sucks. We've got Drums Rock for $14.99. Oh, and by the way, I don't mean to be so dismissive on Star Tenders, but it's not very good or fun. It's pretty boring. Doesn't look great. Yeah, no, hard pass. Okay, so I know this is going to be another divisive one. Perhaps, maybe, I don't know. Drums Rock is $14.99. It's 30% off, or $13.99. Let's see here. So as a drummer, somebody that plays drums in real life, I am actually a pretty big fan of Drums Rock. Is it the first game I would recommend on this list of games on sale? No. But I really, really do like this game. They just added a new pack. They have a Demio collaboration, but more importantly, they added a bunch of like 90s songs. They added like Shine by Collective Soul. They added I remember Wes saying the Toadies, and I think he was thinking Possum Kingdom. No, it's and now he's got that. He's got that like inception in my brain now, and I can't remember the name of the actual band. Um, but yeah, it's got Offspring. You're gonna go far, kid, which not my favorite Offspring song, but a decent one. Um, Distracted said, "Are those paid DLC?" I actually have no idea. Um, I don't have a problem with the symbols, or they're not annoyingly placed for me, GC. So I will fight you. Um, but no, I love that that Drums Rock has like a bunch of good music, really good covers. Even though they're all covers, they're actually really well done covers. I love the haptics. I love that it feels like a real drum kit. I'm a big fan of this game. I haven't played it in a while, but with the new update, I really want to check it out. Again, not the first game I'd recommend on this sale. It's not like an essential PSVR2 game, but I do enjoy it a lot, and I do think that it feels like an authentic drum kit. It is much better than Unplugged, I think. I wasn't going to say Ragnarok. I was going to say Unplugged. But yeah, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. That's a great price. It has a demo, so you can check out a demo if you want. But yeah, it's a good rhythm game, and it gets better as it gets harder. Yeah, macho. Says Drums Rock has amazing haptics for real. Yeah, dude. The drum kit feels really satisfying to hit. Again, I play drums in real life, so I feel like I have a little bit of say here in terms of it feeling like an actual drum kit. It feels really good. Sergeant Frosty in the chat tonight. What up, my friend? Says it ages like one's childhood. All right. So, thumbs up to Drums Rock. Knock is 25% off, $14.99, originally $19.99. This is, of course, supposed to be like bow and arrow Rocket League where you skate around and stuff. I was really excited to play this game when it was coming out, but then I played it and I was really disappointed. The reason being is that it's basically super shallow and it's only designed around assuming there's an active player base, which there is not an active player base on it. There's like 5-10 people playing at all, like maybe at all times if you're lucky. But yeah, I kind of like the gameplay a little bit, but no, it just didn't do it for me. And I think the thing that makes me the most upset about Knock is that there's no single player content in mind. Like not like if you play against bots, which I enjoyed doing, there's no XP for it, there's no unlocks, there's nothing. So it's a very bare bones PvP game that forces you to play online with nobody that's playing except for like the 5 people that only play Knock and are insanely good at it, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't work well. Big no to Knock. Let's see here. 2MD VR Football Unleashed All-Star Edition Championship Saints Chapter 2 Retribution is 30% off. It is $11.24 or $10.49 with PlayStation Plus. If you like football, this is the sort of equivalent. It's almost like if you took NFL Blitz in VR and then made it like really janky and goofy. I like this game, but I'm gonna need to see a deeper sale from it to really recommend it. I'm gonna have to give a thumbs down to this. Although I had a little bit of fun with it. The mascots are hilarious in this game, though. The mascots make me crack up so much. The game has a great style. Like, it's not bad or anything, but I'm just going to say no for now. Keep it short and sweet and to the point. I do like the game, though. I just don't really care to play it that much. Speaking of don't really care to play it or at all, Brain Beats is 1014 or 869 with 40% off. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I have a key for this game, or I think I bought it for. No, I wouldn't have paid money for this. No, I'm just gonna say no because no. Who gives a shit? Screw this game. It's a bad Beat Saber clone, and it sucks. It should honestly. I would pay $10 to have this removed from the store because it would make me feel better about the library. I would pay $10, maybe even up to $30 just to have that removed from the store because it bothers me. It's an eyesore. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum, however, we've got Truant Pixel's other game I am absolutely obsessed with. And that is, of course, Runner is 30% off and is $11.24 or $10.49 with PlayStation Plus. Oh, y'all. Dude, Runner, 2 thumbs up here, man. 2 thumbs up. I love this game. If you grew up playing stuff like Mega Man, if you like good, like this is it's kind of structured like an arcade game, but it's a fast-paced motorcycle arcade shooter that has it's super fun. Really fun enemies, really great soundtrack. And really fun boss fights. You take on huge robot bosses that are insane. It's got like a power-up system similar to like an arcade game that just keeps going. Absolutely love Runner. Big thumbs up for me. I will never stop supporting Runner because I love this game. It also looks really nice in the headset. What do we got next? We've got Transformers. Good game in disguise. No, bad game in disguise. Transformers Beyond Reality is $19.99, 25% off, $18.74. Why is this game so expensive? Transformers it's literally just because it's Transformers. Because this game should be like $4. No, unfortunately, as much as I like Transformers, and as much as I was like trying to be open-minded, kind of excited about this game, hoping for the best. Unfortunately, it falls flat, and it is a bad wave shooter or rail shooter, and it's just not well designed. It's just not a good game. I hate to say it. I love Transformers. I love that. I think it's actually got some of the authentic voices in it. Maybe, I don't know. They're close if they're not the real ones. I love the Transformers IP, like the old school one. I love the look of a lot of things here, but yeah, it is just not done well. Robert Lawrence, I have to agree here, says money grab and not done well. A VR war for Cybertron would be really cool. Yes, it would. But yeah, no, big thumbs down for Transformers. Unfortunately, just not a good game, man. Not a good game. I'm sorry. I hate to break your heart. Finally, what the heck is that? What? That is weird. Okay, we'll get to Garden of the Sea in a second. I gotta say, what is with this Zenith the Last City thing? Is that Might and Mastery update? Did they update the looks of them or something? I don't understand what this is. I don't understand why this person looks like this. Why the front cover looks like this. That's really weird and it looks bad. They need to get rid of that. Maybe they're trying to steal from Cyberpunk 2077. But anyways, Garden of the Sea is 60% off. It is $12.49 or $9.99 with PlayStation Plus. I'm not a fan of this one. I haven't really given it much of a chance. It is like a little thing. I think maybe it's a good kids game or something. Here you go. This sums it up perfectly. GC13 Pepsi Cap chimes in. She says, Garden of the Sea is cute, but I stopped playing after petting cows. It's kind of like what I feel is basically the highlight of this game. You get in, you're like, oh, it's kind of cute. Oh, look at the little animal. I don't like this game at all, though. I didn't find it very fun or interesting, or that it didn't even really look that good. It seemed like just kind of like a Quest port. It's very flat looking. There's no lighting. It's very bland, very bland. Garden of the Sea, despite it being a pretty good price, and maybe some people will like it, maybe some people's kids will like it. I'm gonna have to say no. Seemed like a good kids game. Prentice Summer Scales chimes in, also agrees, says Garden of the Sea is a kids game. I'm told video games are for kids. I need to go back and finish it. Oh, I love it. Stop recommending stuff that you wouldn't appreciate as a kid to other kids. You know, Looper, you might have a point there, but how do you know I wouldn't like it as a kid? Maybe I would. What did I like as a kid? Okay. I mean, if you can like Bayou Billy as a kid, then Bump and Jump, and okay, some of these are actually good games. So I don't know. No, I don't know, man. Yeah, you're right. I'd be much more into action and sci-fi and shooting and Mega Man and whatever else other stuff I have here than I would stuff. So yeah, maybe you're right. Kids are different these days. Finally, guys, we have finally made it to the end here, and the last game for 30% off is Zenith: The Last City. Is $20.99. Is originally $29.99. What happened, man? What happened to Zenith, you guys? This game had such a good launch on PSVR. I don't know how it has had such a drop off ever since PSVR2. Ace Diaz, what is up, man? Dude, I don't know what happened with Zenith. Like, it's open world. I love the open world. I love the RPG, the JRPG thing. I have a lot of time in Zenith. I spent like 260 hours, but that was all, keep in mind, that was all on PSVR 1, when the PSVR 1 was pretty much dead and nothing was coming out. And I really appreciated it at the time. I've tried to get back into it a few times. I've kind of enjoyed it, and I've kind of gotten bored shortly after that. You know, if you're desperate for some kind of RPG or something to just sink a lot of time into, then maybe it would be worth it. Yeah, I've got 260 hours in Zenith, but again, that was all on PSVR 1. And man, we had such a good time at launch. I was just really feeling it at the time. There's a couple people here and there, but for the most part, I'm just going to have to say no, which sucks because I love Zenith, but my time has passed with Zenith. My time with Zenith has passed. What is up, TCM Games Official? Good to see you, my friend. That's my Twitter bro right there. What's up, homie? What happened to Phasmophobia? Is it still dropping this month? That's a good question, man. I mean, let me just say, I expect it to drop this month. I would think they're going to try and surprise us with the drop. That's what it seems like they're going to do. They're going to tell us when it actually announces, or they're just going to kind of be like, hey, it's out today. I think they're going to pull one of those on us. But in the back of my mind, I am prepared for a little bit of a delay just in case. But Macho says, hey AJ, what was the name of that Mega Man VR game we saw a few weeks ago on the show? System Critical. I'm keeping my eye on that one. Obviously kind of like a low budget, solo man dev or whatever, solo dev team or something like that. So like, I'm not like super hyped about it from what I've seen, but it looks okay. And I definitely love the inspiration behind it. The Mega Man, I don't know, it's kind of off camera, but I've got the Mega Man 2 home screen main menu picture up there. Mega Man 2 is like the reason I started playing video games in the first place ever. But yeah, man, wow. So I'm definitely keeping my eye on that one. But guys, that is it, man. Before we get out of here, we'll chat just a little bit longer here. See what you guys are talking about. Let me roll the trailer for Paradise, Propagation Paradise Hotel again. Oh my God, so freaking good. If you love Resident Evil, man, this is absolutely the big winner of the week. This is the big winner of October so far. I really liked Ghost Signal. I really liked the remastered Pixel Ripped 1995. I was down with Paper Beast, but this blows all of those out of the water. Absolute must-have for spooky season. Super fun. Like I said, closest thing to like Resident Evil 1 in VR that we have that's new and nice and it's super cool. Jeppy, Mega Man, as Sergeant Frosty's always said, Mega Man is my childhood. I've beaten all of the 1 through like 10 Mega Mans. I've beaten X through X3 or something. The only Mega Mans I didn't get into was like the Zero paddle. No, not the power battles. I did play those, the arcade beat 'em ups or whatever. The Battle Network ones. Those are the ones that I didn't play. And then some of like there's actually like a bunch of Zero spin-offs and stuff. But yeah, I freaking love Mega Man. It's literally I've got like all this crap down here that I can't bring it up, but yeah, I love Mega Man. Grew up playing that. A lot of NES growing up. NES and then PlayStation. NES, Super Nintendo, and then PlayStation was kind of like what I grew up playing. Which is why I like playing games on hard, because I was raised to be beaten down by video games and then overcome them. OG ones are pretty tough. Yeah, I've beaten all of the 1 through 10 or something, whatever. I'm obsessed with Mega Man. But anyways, yeah, man, spooky season is here. We are in the heart of it, guys. Next week. Oh my God. Wait, what is next week? Next week. Okay. So this is, we've got kind of like one more steady week, good solid week until we really start getting hard. The last week of this month, guys. Whoo, that's going to be brutal. I hope I get some review keys, because trying to play all that in 1 week is going to be hard. Salvador says, need a playthrough of Propagation Paradise. Yeah, I think I'm going to stream it at some point. So this weekend, tomorrow's Friday the 13th. I want to do my tradition of Friday the 13th in October and watch some Friday the 13th movies. Again, I'm going to be watching Chapter 4 and watching Jason Takes Manhattan, which I haven't seen and I need to see it. Saturday, I'm going to Six Flags Fright Fest, and gonna be doing there's like a Saw X haunted house thing. Again, if you live in Georgia and you feel like going out to Six Flags or just happen to be there at the same time as me, definitely shoot me a message somewhere, and I will happily meet up with you out there. The only homegrown game cat I know is Jeppy. So Jeppy, if you happen to be at Six Flags Saturday, hit your boy up. I'll come say hi. But yeah, we're going to basically Fright Fest. I am going to do the Goliath ride at night, where they kind of turn out the lights, make it spooky for some of the roller coasters. And then we're hitting all of the haunted attractions like the Saw X, escape, maze. There's like some escape room things, something like that. So really, really looking forward to that. But at some point, very soon, I would love, maybe on Sunday, I would really love to play some Propagation and stream that. Super fun game. I'd like to maybe play it on Nightmare mode, which is Nightmare mode for Propagation is basically you cannot see how much ammo you have, and the enemies are a lot faster. They're already pretty difficult, but the enemies being a lot faster, and you not seeing your ammo count, which you already have to be pretty conservative about, is it's pretty brutal. So we'll see. I might torture myself there. of course, I would love to just do some random Halloween streams. Maybe wait for a couple more games to drop, or maybe wait till closer to Halloween, and I'll start doing more streams of it. But yeah, I really wanted to stream this game, but it was under embargo until today. So I just had to play it in advance, and I do miss like live streaming games like day of release, but my schedule just hasn't been aligning properly with that. Otherwise, I would. The only other thing I can do is just play it and then review it for you guys as soon as possible and stuff. But yeah, man, heart of the spooky season. Looking forward to Madison. Looking forward to even some non-horror games like Vertigo 2 and all sorts of stuff, man. So really exciting. Can't wait to see what turns out really good and what surprises us, like Propagation Paradise Hotel. And can't wait to play more spooky games. Madison, Phasmophobia. I'm looking forward to the Seventh Guest, although I don't expect that to be super scary. I actually wouldn't be surprised if it's kind of like a boring puzzle game, but I'm hoping it's good. Maybe it'll be good. I just don't expect it to be very scary, but who knows? Maybe it will be. Dang, next time, Jeppy. Next time I got you, homie. Let's see here. Oh yeah, there's like a tennis game. Oh, you know what? A Dizzle says, we want to see you scream like Miles. So I did actually record my first impressions of Propagation. The only reason I didn't post it is because I made a mistake about some of the info regarding the game. But what I will do for you, Sal, because I believe you're a Patreon supporter, what I'll do for all the patrons, these lovely people down here, I will chop out a couple jump scares or a couple funny or cool moments, some really good moments from my first impressions, and I will post it to Patreon for you guys. So thank you for the idea. Let me make a note of that. Patreon probably. So you can look forward to that going on the Patreon very, very soon. Yeah, I'll send you I'll send the clips of there. So you get your fix of some me shitting my pants because it got me good a couple times. Oh my God. It got me really good a couple times. So I'll edit that up and post it on there for you guys, man. But guys, this was Interactive Chat Volume 44, and wow, this was a long one. Usually this is an hour-long show. I guess the sale went on for a while, but good times, man. Always puts me in a good mood to get a good VR game releasing, and especially just a horror game in time for spooky season. So hell yeah, man. But thank you guys so much. You guys have a wonderful and safe night. And happy Friday the 13th tomorrow. And I hope you have a really great day. It should be a great day. Remember that. I bless your Friday the 13th with a good time. And yeah, man, watch horror movies, play horror games, get in the spirit. And man, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Shout out to you, A Dizzle and Silver Nexus, for picking up one of the hoodies down below. Remember, guys, you can also... if you need lenses, you can also go to the VR Rock place and you can use AJ PSVR at the checkout and get a big discount. You can get the lenses with the anti-glare and blue light filter for less than the Hans VR lens. And I like the VR Rock because they're smaller, they're magnetic, and they also have less noise than the Hans VR lenses. So they don't arrive as fast as the Hans VR. They take about 2 weeks, a week or two. And the Hans VR comes in like a few days, but the lenses are better. And I think that's the better thing. But yeah, man, get you some lenses if you have to. Do whatever you can to support the channel. Keep living on the underground, man. You guys have a wonderful rest of the night, and I will see you again very, very soon. Love y'all. Take it easy. Thank you so much for the donations, everybody, and all your support. As always, you guys are the best. I appreciate you. Guy-san, fist bump to you. GC13, Salvador, Jeppy, Scott, Silver Nexus, Macho, A Dizzle. Who else is here? All you are is history. Good to see you, my friend. Prentice, Summer Scales, thanks for dropping in. and Ace Diaz. Madison VR is next. I hope so, man. I hope so. Chrome Colossus, good to see you, man. Steve IRE, thank you. Appreciate you guys. All right. Mad Vegan, later. Y'all take it easy.